All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Hopefully, better roads ahead. Figured I'd change that a little bit. So, there's been some ups and downs through the massage cycle here. uh, my goal was to get that neck released, and it seems like they were missing the mark until I was able to explain it to the young lady today, and she was able to get in there and release it. Now, I don't know where my neck tightness was, but about a week and a half ago, a woman was able to completely release my back, left and right. There was no mid back pain, but what there was a little tingling feeling from what I believe was that left sciatica nerve being hit by the bone, the vertebrae, right? Which is where the idea of the fusion came from. There's probably only one way to test that for sure, which is an ablation procedure where they cauterize the inner nerves on the vertebrae. If when they're taken out, that everything releases. But in my case, it's probably if it all releases, it's going to need to be fused, at least at this point. Again, if I were given peace of mind like the rest of the world, instead of being attacked by the deep state, I would have been able to do this 4 years ago. Thank you, Larry. So you just keep moving forward. Again, I don't know what it is. It feels like nerve damage, but at a certain point, if she released everything, then it was just a matter of getting it released and then probably getting the fused spine. Because I don't think there's another option. But again, it could be something in the middle back or the neck that's doing it also. So again, the idea is to get everything released as far as it can be released without causing damage, and then building it back up again if it's possible. Like right now, I'm walking around. I'm not off kilter. My right leg is a little bit more energized than my left, but nothing major. Right when the complete back was released, I was pretty much, my legs were bilateral. But the emergency was to get that neck released, and I couldn't, for the life of me, get it done by anybody until today. Now, I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow. I woke up this morning, and it was completely just too tight. I had no idea what I was going to do. Like, if I would like swallow, my ears would click, is what was going on. Now, I had something like this happen like 15, 16 years ago. Again, I've been disabled like this for a long time, and they know it. And they were trying to trigger worse disability. So again, I'm walking pretty good. That's the one thing I can do. Everything else is kind of screwed up, but I have been walking like off kilter. Right. So again, I may have been testy, but again, the Lord built that into my personality just so I could curse all of you for the Lord. And that's a reality. I told you years ago not to play with that kind of BS. Now, I don't know if there's going to be an accounting because who knows who's really involved. But again, there should be. If I were Kash Patel, I'd destroy that freaking thing. It's disabling Americans. So yeah, at certain points, when it adjusts a certain way, I got great bilateral movement. Right? My back is kind of firm, but that doesn't last long. It starts doing crazy shit again. So I got to give it time. I got to get steroid treatment. I got to go through the massage. The young lady today. Yeah, so I want to relate a story. And again, you can only get through it if you can get through it. Because I spent 4 years not able to get through what they were doing. Again, they project. You will receive inference. Some people hear it as a voice. Some people feel it as an inference. Again, it's metaphysics. Some people don't know what's going on, and they're just steered all day. And you're still steered even if you know what's going on, if you can't get past it. Again, it's metaphysics. Thank you, Larry. Thanks, sure. But so I'm in the massage therapy today, and boy, Satan was like there. He wanted me to hate this woman. But I specifically went back to her because she wore the mask last time, but she didn't have the mask on. I'm like, She doesn't have the mask on. But it's okay. I have my mask on. But she's a very nice person. Actually, at first, it was weird because Satan was ruling the moment. She was rather cold compared to what she was before. And as we spoke through the whole massage, it warmed up, and she explained a lot of what was going on and what she believed she could possibly do up in the neck area, right? But she said it takes time, right? Unless there's if there's a vertebrae issue causing a nerve to cause muscles to pull to adjust, then that could be past what her capability is. Right? But after the surgery, I can go see her, and she could do it again, and then it would work, right? So, well, I can't tell if what's the pain I feel on the left side when the left side releases and the right side stays tight is just. It could just be pain from staying cramped up for that long, and it just won't release. Or it could be, ping nerve, or both, which means it's being pulled out of alignment. I think I was right about what was happening last time. I just couldn't get it fixed. And I've been crimped up for years. Now, I just got my legs massaged, something I've been trying to do for years. I was trying to do it in Oklahoma, and I looked up the people that come into your apartment, and it's just they psychologically tortured me around massage. So it was very difficult, and in massage, so it was very difficult to get back to it. And again, the metaphysics of it. I mean, these are high-powered people. They're even within probably the Biden administration. So the devil was that big. So I'm in the massage, and she ain't got no technique for you. She can't do anything. Those are the inferences. And lo and behold, she starts looking around the neck and the head like I asked her, and she found some of this stuff. And she also found from the neck to the arm, there was something very tight. And she was able to locate it. I could manipulate it, and I could get it a little bit, but you can't massage yourself like that. So she was able to locate it. I actually explained it to a couple people, and they could. And at the end, she was like, did I do anything, could I have done anything better? She actually asked me that. And I said, no, it was great. I said, and I had told her, I said, this is the problem with these 1 hour massages, you can't really get the things. So I might see if she has an hour and a half sometime down the road. I just don't have a lot of money, and I'm trying to, I borrowed money to pay off my debt. And then what I did was I borrowed enough to pay off 9/10 or a little bit more of my debt, probably a little bit more, 9.5 of my debt. And then the rest I'm going to pay with my pay. But I reserved some of my pay so I would have, a little bit extra money this month. I'm also, by getting the loan, I reduced my 2 loans together. It's just going to be extended, which I don't mind because you have to have a loan to have good credit. If I had no loan, it would actually hurt my credit. So the payment for the 2 other loans was somewhere around $480 a month or something like that. $480, and now it's going to be something like $3 something. So that would be good. So I was able to get an extra hour massage out of that reduction. So again, I'm trying to do that kind of thing. I've been so in pain and not been able to move too well that I couldn't. Right. Here's another thing for dementia, you need to look at tightness and massage as a therapy because I swear I thought I had dementia. with it being that tight. I couldn't I'm like, whoa. I just, I couldn't get motivated to do anything. Oh, that's nice. Satan just dropped, like my USB cable just grabbed the box of screws that were on the table and pulled it onto the floor. That's Satan having a hissy fit. If that happens to you, that's Satan having a hissy fit. So again, I told you they shouldn't be allowed to do what they did. They were able to take my mind down to the point where I couldn't go get the kind of medical attention that I needed. And no, I'm not crazy. They are psychologically operating using spycraft. So we got the big menorah lit again. Tomorrow's the big day. I was hoping to have the washing cup for the hands. Hashem doesn't care. Hashem says, I'm just, I put that out there. You can use a bottle of water for all I care. But, Amazon, had a delay in delivery and it looks like it's gone. So somebody made it, but I would investigate it because it's a Jewish item and they've been targeting my Jewish items during delivery. It appears from my angle. I can't investigate it any further. Thank you, and they are whoever they are. Probably a network of Nazis. I mean, over at Walmart, they took my Tzaddik number, my 36 number. I was going to actually bring what I was going to do, but I just didn't feel like getting into it. I was going to print out 36 on a piece of paper, on both sides of a piece of paper, and put some tape on it. And every time I go in, I put the 36 up while I'm standing there and then pull it down and walk off. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, sure. So again, I don't know whether I'm going to need surgery further up the back or what. I just felt like I wasn't getting anywhere and any of that. So I moved on, but I was going to restart the therapy and I kept getting attacked and I forgot about it. And again, it causes an aversion because that's how they wired me for 20, 30 years or 20 years or so. So they know to do that, and then your mind blanks out because it brings up all this torture. So again, I wasn't even stretching or doing anything. I was just because I had gotten injured, based upon that thing happening and psychologically operated. So they're connecting to these bad moments in your life. So when they do that, it brings that up, and you just don't feel like, oh, here they're trying to pull the plug on my broadcast. So hopefully my hearing improves, my sinuses clear up. So the question is, did I really have a sinus infection? I don't know. It seemed like I did. Right. Oh my God. So my head was getting crunched and my hearing was being affected. When they put you in this state, you can't really see. I'd had a great after government life and they knew it. No, it isn't because I said something. People say something all day long. I mean, just look on Twitter. I live in multimillionaire and billionaire lives, as well as poor people lives. So again, it's a contract hit. They take it and they make up lies. And actually, I wouldn't be saying much because I wouldn't know anything if they just stayed away. They're the loose end. Right. They need to be put in prison for what they do. Let me think here. I got to get my apartment cleaned up. I got a lot to do here. It's actually too messy now for me to bring anybody in to clean it. I have to straighten everything out and get it back up. But here, what was happening is my head was being pulled down into my body. It was starting to cut off my hearing and other things. I know it did restore before. Hopefully it restores again. I could barely hear when I was in Indiana. But I also knew I couldn't even fit my finger into my ear canal. She was saying that the knots, like if you got knots around your neck, it'll press on those nerves. And then once well, I didn't say anything about the hearing, but she said somebody's vision. She once was able to heal somebody's vision the same way. She says once the knots are removed, the nerves restore. If they hadn't interfered, I'd be in therapy and everything would have went a certain way. And again, they'll tell you, well, we didn't want that because you don't deserve it. They're all liars. People in prison that have murdered people have great health care. I always see that. And Hashem will tell me, like years ago, I said, I see this person going into prison, they're going to have a better life than you. Watch when they come out. And they come out and they look like they have $1 million dentistry, $1 million health care. Like Vlagovich. Vlagovich came out looking like $1 million, right? 100%. Again, the system's upside down and it's a lie. So when the lady massaged my legs earlier this week, I think it was maybe it was Sunday. I can't remember when it was. I was amazed, really, I didn't even know that was available. Like that part alone, right? Of freeing the legs up. I remember sitting there in Indianapolis after that woman came to massage me and couldn't massage me. I was looking, I don't remember what the online service was. I was trying to get it. I just couldn't get to it because of all the trauma in the massage therapy. And they know that's why they do that. They did it in my dentistry. They did it in massage therapy. And they didn't only just do it once. Right? And then they do it around it. So again, some of it is also getting my leg muscles relaxed because I'm waking up and my body's tense. And I would take muscle relaxers, but the last time I took them, they caused some funky dreams or something. And I was like waking up with a nightmare and I'm like, nah. I mean, I used to do well on Flexeril. I take, not very long. I take them for a week or two and that would be it. But I couldn't get anywhere in Amarillo. And again, I shouldn't have had to be in Amarillo. I should have been able to be in Santa Fe without all that harassment. I should have never had to leave the massage place that I was in. It was all BS. They set it up stupid. The woman stalked me and I said something about it. And then I'm sure that's what they were talking about. Like it didn't happen or they didn't stalk me. She's probably either an agent or a crook, probably both the same, but so that is what it is. I'm using the, I don't know what it sounds like, but I'm using the PreSonus Revelator IO44 for now. My Donner is history, and they sold the last one today. Wonder if the deep state bought it. I was just trying to see if I could make it work because a lot of my USB cables or USB-C cables are failing. So that was that. So I kind of went to bed last night very comfortable, but I woke up today and my neck muscles had shortened and all of that. And I think those are going to need corticosteroid, and that could fix everything. Right? Soften the muscles, get them stretched out as far as they can, still maintain some firmness and tightness to keep everything in line. Right. But so a very nice lady at St. Luke's pain management today on the phone. She really spent her time explaining the system to me so I could see if I was in a condition where I couldn't, really comprehend what she was saying, that she was interested in making sure that I understood it. The only issue I ran into, and I think I'm gonna get with St. Luke's on this. They should recommend calling that number. Because if you call the one on 150, because they do the procedure on 159th, right? But that's where they do the procedure. That's not necessarily where the phone's going to get answered. And I'm not even sure if they're answering it all now. So what they need to do is just recommend people call that woman or maybe a series of women, but because that's the doctor's direct office. So I've been sitting there for 2 weeks trying to figure out how to get contact. It happened the same way. Like right before Christmas, I called him and called that number, no answer, no answer. So it was happening again today. And then I got the buzz to call the other number. I called the other number, which is on Metcalf, and I had an answer. But I have to get a referral and an X-ray. So that's easy. You know, I got some people that are in urgent care said no problem, we'll take care of it. Just because I was saying, you know, what do I got to do to? You just come in here, you tell us what you want, we'll take the X-ray of your back, and we'll send it off with the referral. That's it. So that was good. Now I had another woman from the same organization, but a different clinic say, "Well, our X-ray is not working today." She goes, "You don't need an X-ray to get steroid shots." She said, "Go to the emergency room, you'll get better service." Click. Or have a great day. Click. So but see, I want somebody to look at it and strategize the plan. I don't want to just go in there and them go, because once you get the steroid shots, and they don't want to, for a while, they don't want to give you steroid shots. So I need somebody that kind of knows what. I really feel slighted a little bit with how I left. I like the doctor that I was seeing, the rehab doc. He was a rehabilitation doctor. I guess he wasn't pain management or something, so maybe that was where the problem was. But he kind of left me hanging. He's kind of like, "Well, you have damage on your spine in a couple places. You know, we can give you a steroid shot." He goes, "I was hoping it was just your lower back." Right. And, well, everybody has wear and tear on their spine, you know, so it just depends how the body adjusts to it. So I just couldn't get anywhere. And every time I got somewhere, I was being attacked by corrupt law enforcement and the crooked PIs and all that. I'm still thinking it has something to do. Now, I know that wraps around, but that area below, like the belly area, the stomach area, the abdomen area, just like kind of above the crease, above the quads. Right. That's always been tight on me. If I get them stretched, it might work. Believe it or not, when I released my quads, it changed the mechanics of the thing too. So we're back on the road to try to do something. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to ever needing that kind of surgery, but I am 60 years old, and if I ever am going to live any type of life. So again, the protection for the other surgeons may have kicked in also if it wasn't fully diagnosed. Which means they would have done the surgery and it would have only partially worked. So possibly there's two places that need to get worked, and that's that center, the middle of the back somewhere, and then at the bottom. Unfortunately, again, I was being deep stated, and there was no way for me to get anywhere. And then Satan stance, they do curse you. So Satan stance kicks in. So it's actually more than what they are physically doing. Right. But believe me, they do physically things to kill people or to get them to kill others. And that needs to be stopped. Again, the planes are crashing, a bunch of things happening. I bet you they're having fits about me receiving massages and care. Agreed. So Hashem had me buy the incense burner that did make it. Not a specifically Jewish item. So we do need Amazon to investigate within their organization for anti-Semitism. Post office needs to probably do that also. Just because I don't believe Israel should have killed so many children, it doesn't mean that I'm anti-Semitic in any way. Yeah, now I can swallow without my ear clicking. Thank you, Larry. So hopefully I'll have some restoration, but my hearing has been affected. I don't notice it like just one-on-one conversations, but like if I'm in a room full of background noise, it's pretty bad. And like women, high-pitched women voices, so the usual. So I saw a really nice massage therapist earlier, and I spoke about earlier this week, and she did the legs and all that. And she did a great job at that. And she's really, really, I could see her never, trying to do anything wrong. I don't know if you offer $1 million, I'm not sure, but. Well, the other choice was on Friday, I could go to my doctor and get the x-ray and the referral. But I'm thinking that's way down the road. There was another orthopedic place that offered on Thursday to do it. She said tonight, I guess at midnight, the next day's request for appointments open up. She said, be ready and grab an appointment. That's one of the orthopedic centers. That's the first place I looked for, was an orthopedic urgent care. But I guess they get a lot of people coming in, especially around this time of year. A lot of drinking, a lot of falling. No, it wasn't from my weightlifting. I very rarely did I lift a lot of weights. It's just I got tight and I couldn't get out of it. And I couldn't get out of it. And I couldn't. And I did get out of it at times, but I couldn't stay out of it because of these people. Some of it was weightlifting, there's no doubt, but I'm not a big overhead weightlifting guy. Most of the damage probably came from moving, and they keep trying to make me move. But when I did realize the damage, I started, using more of the like a wagon. I have a wagon, an orange wagon that I can pull the boxes and things with. So I got to try to focus on getting the arc completed. Monday, I got my final screws that I think I need. I drilled the holes in the one bore, but then I just couldn't get further. And then this morning I woke up so much in pain. I didn't even know what to do with myself. I'm glad that the Lord had me make an appointment. And while I'm going to sleep, I felt so good. Satan's like, you didn't even need that appointment. And I woke up, I'm like, ah! So I was kind of always like off kilter. I knew my right side was pulled up tight. My left was drooping a little bit. Most of the time, not the whole time. I just couldn't, I couldn't see myself. I just couldn't, I get self-image in a different way. I couldn't see what was going on and what I needed because they had blurred everything and had tortured me so much. But at this point, I was able to wake up and get past it. I guess the consequence was worse. I didn't realize I was tightening up. Because my hips stayed pretty loose. They're real loose right now. So again, I could have been healthy all the way through this by them not interrupting my massage at all. Now, I don't know if they changed their numbers on the license plates so you couldn't find them because you'd be looking for 54. So they use the last 4 of my social security number. Of course, that's mens rea. Right. So Hashem said, I don't know if it's Hashem or one of the rabbis from history. I guess we call them upper lights. So some of the other tzaddiks, they said, Larry, turn on your heater and look at something. If it costs $20, $30, $50 more, you need to pay it because the heat you're using is just BS. Right? Yeah, they make good supplemental, but you can't use it to heat your house. because I'm much better off with a warm home. I know my heat just kicked in. Isn't that funny? But that's happening a lot. So again, that's also part of it. The seeing, like you don't realize it, but you're being cued all day in different directions, or you might realize it too. So what I'm going to do tomorrow for Hanukkah is I have this new tea light resin burner. I bought a couple other ones. I just couldn't get them going. I think I'll get it going with this. So it's like an incense without a stick. It's just like either chunks or I'll probably powder it up. And then you light the tea light, and then the incense wafts up without that charcoal. You can use charcoal for it. No, I shouldn't be this bad off. I mean, it's the attacks that did it. Right? To begin with, I'd be like in some religious place with a wife. I mean, the whole life would be different. When I forget something, she'd remind me. And when she forgets something, I'd remind her. So again, there's a lot of violation of Bible by Bible people. I mean, you're not supposed to cause people to be alone. And in fact, in my life, I've spent time trying to help people stay together, trying to help people understand, get married. Right. I know it's weird because that one, that's their spells. That one rapist guy, the guy that was the teacher, I helped with that case, or tried to at least. He, I don't remember his name. He was a teacher in like Tennessee. And he said, I'd marry you, but I'm too old. But I say that, but I don't mean it like, oh, let's get married or let's have sex or anything like that. I do that. I did that before. I don't think since then, or maybe, no, I don't think I did that come up with it. But, well, it's, what I use it for is to encourage people. Hey, look, you can be married. Right. 100%. That's what I was told. I said, people get married. Get married. I told a woman, she's like begging for money. I said, get married. It'll work. Believe me. Focus on getting married. Thanks, Lee. Thank you, sir. But the whole goal is to blur things so you don't know what reality is and what, so you can't see actually. So I don't know where this is going to end. Like I said, part of it probably has to be steroid shots, and then we can see if the massages do what we're trying to get them to do. But the tightening of that neck may be in relation to some sort of damage on the spine. But again, it seems to be reducing now. But what's happening is my left side releases, my right side stays tight, and then I get pain. When they released my right side and my left side, and I was, walking pretty free, I felt no pain. But I could feel this little twinge on the lower left where that lumbar is. And I do have a spur over there or something. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. But I don't know. Again, what is it? Why is it? The professionals are gonna have to figure that out. I just think I was in the wrong place at the wrong time to have that happen to me. Right. Being in Southwest Florida, believe it or not, has its advantages because they do steroid treatments and such. So, yeah, it was very easy there because the pain management guy would do his own X-rays, and he'd go, "Okay, here's what I'm going to do." He'd do it, and I'd be well within a week. I guess the last time I was there, it took about 2 months, but I was well in Santa Fe and Espanola. I don't know why they did what they did. They did bait me. They did continue to try to bait me, but I mean, last thing, I mean, you cause somebody to be alone. You block that person from interaction. And then you bring situations where you want that person to reach out. That's illegal. It's worse than entrapment, believe me. I just need to get this arc done so I can put that project behind me. I'm way behind schedule. I mean, I'm obviously cursed, but I don't know. If they are getting in here to see it, they may see me progressing and then hit me with something. And then that messes me up. Right. Thank you, Larry. And one of the weird things is the sensor that was in Overland Park or nearby for the pollen sense disappeared, and I didn't see that. So I believe there was no pollen or allergens. So I tapped into AccuWeather. AccuWeather is the only one that's probably telling the truth at this point, because it also has mold and dust and dander. Because you can go to pollen.com and all you're going to see is like ragweed, grass, trees. And you might think there's no allergies out there. I'm all like, because everything has to adjust in, you know. She's loosening up everything. Right, so these things that run off your neck and down into your arms and off your upper back into your rotator cuff and all that, they were jacked up. And I was trying to get somebody to release those, but they couldn't quite figure out what I was saying. But I did sleep pretty good last night. I fell asleep real early. It's just very difficult to get to all these doctors' offices when you're in pain and you have no help, you know. They knew that. I mean, they planned this for somebody's life. They started 30 years ago and knew they were going to do this throughout my life as long as I lived. No, there's no reason that they do it, other than they think I was investigating things that they would not want me to investigate. But not knowing that I shouldn't have. I thought the whole government was honest, man. I'm a true believer. But I finally figured out that every time I was investigating something, they did the same thing they just did with the massage therapy. They do something to me, I'd either lose track of my investigation or I'd be a little cautious in providing the results to someone. But I was being set up, and I didn't realize that. I mean, if you can prove to me they proved to me the government's corrupt, so there's nobody I can give the results to. One time they had I don't know if they're involved, but my wife attacked me. And I said, you have no idea what you're talking about. Probably more than one time. Right. But then I didn't know what to do because, right. So they know I'm investigating. They don't want me to look good. So anything I'm investigating, they want me to be afraid to put the results in or even to have the mind focus to finish it. Because why? Because they'll make me look good. They'll destroy their narratives. So I kind of wish I just could at least got my legs massaged somewhere along the way. Again, if I had a wife, she'd probably do it. Say, give me $100 if it go here. Thanks. This never would have happened to me if I was married. Now I got to go because I'm running out of power on this thing. I'll be back. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.